in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, guys. Welcome to our podcast, TBD Talks.
This is gonna go well. All right. Continue. No, yeah, no.
Howdy,
We gotta keep
boys
gotta keep
and
the
girls,
light.
men and women, guys and gals. How are you guys doing?
Yeah,
Doing good.
not
Are we
bad.
asking them or asking us? Everyone. We'll just include
Could be
everyone.
both. I hope those who are watching are having a good day or a good night, good morning.
Yeah, wherever you are, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
so this is going to be
yeah.
the first episode of our podcast, TBD Talks.
Yep. Led by
Yeah.
Shy.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Can I get a
Um,
Yahoo in chat? Yes, please. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
So, would
so
you
yeah,
guys
all
like
right.
to introduce
Ready?
yourselves?
All right. So our podcast is mainly led by three of us, which are me, Butter. That's such a
Right.
stupid name.
It's so funny though. It's okay. Just keep it up. Dude, it's all good content. So it's good. It's fun. Okay. Let's just continue.
So I'm Butter, and we have Shy and
That's me.
the.
Not, hey, what's up? My name is I'm Grant. Welcome to the podcast. For any of you guys watching on the channel, thank you for joining. This is gonna be a undetermined time schedule thing. I don't know. We're gonna do it sometimes.
This
You know,
since this
do
is our
it.
first episode. We haven't really figured
Yeah.
out the
Well,
time.
we're still figuring out the things. We kind of just decided this
Yeah,
yesterday.
There's no
so
schedule,
everything
really.
I did make the logo though, so that's
You did make the logo, like, he made the logo in
Might
like
change.
20
Mhm.
minutes.
Yeah, it might change though, so we'll figure that out.
It would definitely
Alright.
But yeah,
change.
probably change the
We
logo.
have a couple
At
of
least.
topics to choose from. Butter, you want to start us off?
Yeah, since we're in a bit of a time crunch today, I feel like we could go with something a bit more lighthearted, like talking about like
Sorry, I was reading the topic list. Okay, I was reading the topic list, and then you said lighthearted, right? Oh, we have someone in chat who actually suggested a very interesting topic. Okay, but we'll get that in just a second. Okay, but I was just reading through the topic list, and when you said something very lighthearted, I just read one that wasn't very lighthearted. So it's just funny. Okay, so
okay.
continue.
I wanted to start with Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra because I know a lot of people
Oh.
watch those shows, and a lot of people have different opinions on them. But I
A
feel
lot
like
of people do with different opinions.
right,
You were
and
right.
I actually recently watched Avatar: The Last Airbender when it came out to Netflix.
oh, have you? How far are you on the show?
Oh, I finished it a while back.
Oh, okay. So we're pretty much on board with what the show is about and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've all watched it. I was one of the people who watched it when it came out on Netflix, like back on Netflix, like a long time ago. So I'm lucky and privileged to
I did not. I in
do
fact pirated Korra before I started
that. You
watching
did.
Avatar. So
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a
That's a
weird
good.
what's watching order. Watching Korra before Avatar.
Oh,
yeah.
I did the same thing actually. I mean,
You
like, oh no,
actually
not
did?
really.
I hadn't heard that.
Okay, so basically, I watched. So back in the day, when Netflix was like cool because it had like Scooby Doo and Avatar, like best combo.
Now they have them back again.
Now they have back again, both Scooby
Uh-huh.
Doo and Avatar. But I watched like the first season, or like maybe not even the first season, and then when like current day, like in age, like when COVID started and stuff,
Mhm.
I was like, I really want to get back into that, right? So we went to a local store near my old stomping grounds, where I used to live, and what we found there, like, there was a DVD section for some reason at this bookstore, and I was like to my sister, I was like, hey, we should go look to find Avatar or something. But instead of finding Avatar, we found all 4 books of Korra. So we
Oh,
bought them, and then we binge watched it during like all of COVID. So
wow.
I fully watched Korra before I fully watched Avatar.
So,
Hmm.
like, you watched the first book of Avatar, like, back in the day?
Yeah, like just the first book.
Just the
nothing past
first
that.
book.
So I remember especially I remember especially the beginning of it, like first half of the first book. I remember watching that, you know, back when. But yeah, let's
Yeah.
just go with that.
No, that's the thing I really like about Korra, because like, although it is the sequel to, Avatar: The Last Airbender, I feel like most people can watch the show without any prior knowledge and still like get what the idea is about, because I think this, even though they're related, the two shows are very
hmm
different in terms of what they're meant to portray and how the characters are
Themes,
built,
different themes, right?
right, different themes and things like that, which is why I want to bring up the next point, is that a lot of people who have watched Avatar: The Last Airbender tend, and like majority tend to hate Korra. And that's why I want to bring up the topic, because like I might have a lot of bias because I grew up watching Korra before I started watching Avatar, just based on the
hmm
circumstances at the time. So maybe I have a bit more connection to Korra, but I think that majority of the time, people who criticize Korra tend to overlook the fact that it's like a very like well-made show, in my opinion. Like, and it's just like they compare it because they say it's not the same. And my opinion is that they're not supposed to be the same, because
I agree. Yeah.
right, Avatar, leads Avatar: Last Airbender leads you to like Aang's life. He's like what, 12 years old, 14, and he's like
112 actually.
right,
Excuse you.
Excuse
Mhm.
me. Thank you,
right,
Yeah, 12
Shy.
years old. 12 years old.
right. He just acts like a kid still because he was frozen for so long. But he all he had to do, basically, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, which I hope you have, is
It's good
that
that you said
he just had to
that.
defeat the Fire Lord, and that's it. And him being the Avatar, like, although he's very young, I feel like with the help of his friends, it came pretty easily. Like, that was the entire show led up to one big villain, you know, the Fire Lord or Ozai, and that's it. And that's the end of the show. And like, that's fine, right? But then Korra, every single book has a different villain, and
Yeah.
they
Actually,
all
actually, before you continue that, Avatar, each book basically has its own villain.
right, but
For the first book, it's Commander Zhao, and Azula isn't even introduced until like the end of that. Azula is the
Car
main
as
villain of book
wait, wait,
two.
wait, 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 wait. Let's okay. So first, let's
Zula.
cover this. What did you say?
Huh?
What did you say? Azula?
Wait, oh shoot, it's Azula,
It's
right?
Azula.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a very nerdy talk.
Quick
That's okay.
pet peeve. I hate some of the pronunciations of names in
It's not
Avatar,
an
so I
anime,
might.
dude.
The thing is, like, some of them are like like
Ah,
in like Asian languages, which is like what most like yeah, the characters are based off these Asian languages. That's like not how they're
mhm.
pronounced. Like
Oh,
what was
okay.
her name? May is with an Mai
Oh my.
when it
Oh
should
yeah.
be my
My.
May. I don't remember. It should be an Mei if it's pronounced that way. But yeah, that's something. So yeah, second book it's Azula. Fire Ozai.
Mhm.
You don't even see his face until book three, I'm pretty sure. And yeah,
I think it's
there's
just because
basically different villains
Right.
throughout the whole entire show.
But
yeah.
okay, I do
Each
agree,
book.
but there are like certain like times in the show where it would all like mention the Fire Lord Ozai, and like, because like, yeah, there are different villains, but they're not like very like crucial to, they're like small villains that lead to the big villain at the end, which is Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah,
But
there's one goal in the end.
mhm. But
Like
for Korra, every book has like a distinct goal. Like,
mhm.
yeah, it connects to the next book, but it's just I feel like it has a lot more impact on the story.
And
So
that
it's
goal affects Korra differently, which is kind of
right.
cool because like each goal that she works towards has either like they both have like they both have implications on her life that both affect her negatively and positively. And then you see those, and there's other arcs, I guess you could call them. I don't know, like some of the goals happen to have more cons and pros, and
Hmm.
then like the next season it has to balance that out. And it's like it's kind of more of a, like Koi was kind of saying at the beginning, like because of her older age, she's dealing with some she's dealing with some like bigger problems, or problems that are more kind of realistic, where like you have like the downs and then you have to build back up to get back to the highs. Like I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
Feel like though with Avatar, each of the books, I also feel like Aang kind of also has different goals in each book. Okay, before we continue, I haven't watched Legend of Korra, so I don't have too
Mm.
much ground in this conversation. But also, what I wanted to say is like in book one, the goal was to make it to the Northern Water Tribe to learn waterbending.
Mm-hmm.
And
Essentially.
the second book, the goal was to go to Ba Sing Se to did they was it always to warn
Learn
the Earth
Earthbender. I think
King
it was to learn.
about Day of Black Sun?
Um,
Maybe.
I remember it was just to go to Ba Sing Se.
I thought they went to Ba Sing Se because he wanted to meet King Boomy to teach him about earthbending. Or
Was it?
no.
Well, he doesn't live in Ba Sing Se, so that don't make any
Oh no.
sense.
The initial
Oh
goal
wait,
was to go to
Mashu.
Omashu
Amashi.
to
Yeah.
to find King Boomy again to learn earthbending,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
And
then he
then
had to
they
go.
figure out that King Boomy is captured. That's before they meet Toph. Toph, that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, Toph.
Tofu.
So-
Tofu.
Okay, for I think of Toph as Toph just because there's like a top Smash player whose tag is Toph.
Cool.
Hmm.
Smash
Interesting.
player, commentator, it's one of those. Yeah, and then the final book is defeating the Fire Lord.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of had there are different goals in each books, but they all are leading up to
Right.
uh Aang becoming the master of all four elements.
Right. And that's the thing because since you haven't seen like Korra, I won't spill much, but once you do, you'll see a lot of distinction between the two. Like basically like she like it took Aang like until basically the like I think in like book 3 or 4 to finally master all of the elements, right? Or to learn them at least, like because he didn't learn
Hmm.
firebending until he met Zuko, which is like book 3 after he like defeated Sparky Boom Boom Man.
He did try to learn firebending in the first book, and
Mm-hmm.
Right.
he failed at that and hurt
I think it
Katara,
was so.
which affected him throughout the rest of the series until
Uh-huh.
meeting or learning from Zuko, right?
Yeah. And this isn't a really big spoiler, but like Korra basically masters like doesn't master but like learns all of them in book 1. So like
Hmm.
in terms of like differences, like Avatar leads you to the story of how he like becomes, Avatar and like how this journey of learning it. But Korra, it's more like what happens after she becomes like Avatar. Like the problems that she deals with, like things I feel like people were curious about with Aang, like after, he grew up and things like that. Because a lot of it were kind of like reference or bits of it were shown in Korra just to see like
Could
their
I
past.
interrupt you for just a second?
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to do
So,
that.
do you know how Avatar Last Airbender has comics that show what happens after the third book that continue the story?
Oh, I did not.
There are, yep.
They have comics, yeah. Uh,
Oh.
I haven't read any. I don't know much, but it seems like from what when I've seen little of, it seems like it shows the problems that Aang has to go through as the Avatar, which kind of sounds like what you're saying with how Korra learns everything in the first book, and the other books are like conflicts and problems she has to go through.
Mhm.
So what I'm building up to is, do you think if they had like animated these comics, or if the comics were like a more uh, known or notable part of like, the Avatar community, people would still be or still not like the majority of people would not like Legend of Korra if Avatar, if Aang had also gone through these same struggles.
I think so, possibly, because at that point it would just be like a repeat of what happened, but in a different character. But thing is, I haven't read the comics, so I don't really know how they portrayed Aang as Avatar and how what he deals with and how he deals with those things afterwards. But for Korra, at least, I feel like it's like very two different time, like I guess like you can say like time different, like age differences. That's what I meant to say. Because like Aang is still a kid, right? So he deals with things differently, and Korra is like a teenager, like a lot more mature, and then she has to deal with like things that adults deal with. So like I think it's kind of interesting. Like Aang as a kid has to deal with saying things that like a normal teenager would, or like someone who's a lot older, and then
Hmm. He has the
Kata,
responsibilities of the Avatar.
right? And Korra becomes the Avatar and has like the responsibility of like basically protecting everyone that she comes to in contact with, or just Republic City, which is
Hmm.
the main setting. And then not only that, but also the spirit world.
Yeah,
So
so like I was just gonna mention the part about like this is kind of going back a lot, but I'm waiting for a while. So like one of the cool things about like mastering all the elements in the first book is that because of that, you can dive further into like the deeper end of the avatar state and like how that works and like actually being the avatar on a more um like spiritual level. And like
Mhm.
the spirit world stuff is pretty cool. I think it's cool to explain like also like the backstory of the first avatar, Avatar 1. Like that was cool. And like I think it really allows it like it because a big driving force of like the Avatar books is obviously like Aang learning all the elements still. Like every book, he like the first few episodes, like okay,
Mhm.
where do we find a teacher for
Right.
element, and
Hmm.
because that is taken away, and it's just like the beginner stuff is all done in the first book. You can dive so much further into like just the more I guess complex and like complicated and interesting like
Mhm.
unknown aspects of the Avatar state, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. No, for sure. And one of the other reasons why, like, I guess like prefer, not to say like, oh, one is better than the other or one is worse than the other, but the reason why I prefer Korra is because like it's considered a kids show, right? It's like TV 13, TV 14. So like,
Is it TV
yeah.
14 is not kids though?
Yeah,
Well,
that's not a good show.
I was gonna
wait,
say.
hang on. Um,
Quick check.
So Grant, you're saying how Korra delves deeper into the Avatar state and how it works, right?
Hmm.
For me, a problem I had with the first with Avatar: The Last Airbender, it felt
oh,
like the Avatar state was like just like a plot device, like a Deus Ex Machina, where it just saved
Yeah,
Aang whenever uh
because he
his own
mhm.
skills weren't enough.
Because that's how like because he didn't have the abilities to like control it yet. So I think that was is cool
Hmm.
how like because yeah, I don't know.
okay.
In
So
Korra.
Korra is considered like, I guess like I don't know, depends on what you consider like a kids show, but it's like age 9 plus or age 9 to 10 plus. So that's like kids show, right?
I
I
mean, I don't know. 10-year-olds are pretty grown up.
mean,
I would say that they're pretty old.
but yeah, like the fact that it's okay, I'm putting kids in quotation marks because that's debatable, but
It's TBD.
there we go.
Ahaha. Okay.
And that's that.
Continue.
Thank you for coming to the podcast. That
Yo, guys, that was just all leading up to this
That was
moment.
the first topic. We should really move on soonish, but continue.
Avatar, right? But like it
Hmm.
shows a more human side of her. Like the show like covers like depression, like suicide, PTSD, anxiety, and all that stuff. And I think it's really interesting to see like in like kids show once again quotation marks or air quotes, yeah. But I think that it's really cool because like when you watch, I feel like people watch Korra can relate a lot to Korra more than they can relate to like Aang, because like Aang is like a kid that just discovers that he's an avatar and he's going on his way to like become the avatar. And no, not many people like. I don't think anyone can like relate to that. But unless you're like, on your way to do something big and you go across a lot of like obstacles as a kid,
I actually learned last year I'm fated to save the world by winter, so I can relate with.
Awesome. Is
Oh,
it the
that's
winter
great.
solstice? It's probably winter solstice.
It's winter solstice. Yeah,
I knew
I
it. It
haven't
is
made
winter
much
solstice.
progress. I've just been sitting at home watching anime. I think we're gonna die. But continue, Butter.
It's great to hear, Shy. Well, like, and then like for Korra, it's like she becomes Avatar, but that it doesn't stop there. It's like she also has to deal with things that a normal human would. Like, I can't say much, but the end of the first book, like portrays one of the things that I just described, and I just thought that wow, that's like it's like kind of in a way like makes you like go like wow, like it's kind of cool that this is portrayed like kind of like in a way like they're normalizing it, so like people don't really like, because when it comes to like depression, suicide, and things like that, people tend to stray away from it because it's not like a really easy topic to talk about. I guess both shows really like portrayed some psychological aspect of like a person really like in different like interesting ways. But to me, like Korra like showed a lot more, right? Because like I mean, it's also makes sense that Korra shows a lot more because Avatar is really is a kids show, and that's like
I think half of Avatar is a kids show. The other half is Zuko and Iroh.
yeah, right. And I think like the reason why I brought this up in the first place because I've heard a lot of negative feedback on Korra, and the majority and the common theme that I tend to find within those like criticisms is that they don't like the character of Korra, or it's just not the same. They compare characters that they really like in Avatar and they put that over certain characters of Korra. Like I've heard people describe like Aang as like a much better Avatar than Korra is.
About that. I do agree. I don't. Okay. This might be unpopular to you, Koi.
No, I mean
Butter
I've
specifically.
pretty much heard all of it.
But basically, I think that Korra is not the best. I think okay, I don't think she's the best character.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I guess she kind of represents maybe a lot of like people her age. Or I don't know, like her age maybe affects the way that she acts, but I do think she's kind of annoying sometimes. In my opinion, the characters, like the supporting characters around her, are
Yeah.
what really make this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think Korra could hold it up on her own.
Right. No, I agree. But that's the
Dude,
thing.
okay.
I feel like people have to like separate who she is as a person versus who she is as an avatar. Because I do agree. Like I got frustrated with her while watching the show because like why is she
Okay.
acting like that? Why
Yeah,
is she?
yeah. Like you're just like, why?
Yeah.
What?
Right. But in terms of like I know like being an avatar is like an umbrella term. Yeah, sure. You have a certain goal that you want to reach towards, and just keeping the world balanced. That's like the theme. But Aang, although he was a kid, he pretty much like got a good grip on it because like he's got a good heart. He wants to like bring good to the world. But
Mhm.
and we got to see a lot of him as an adult, like in some chorus scenes, and I see that, but it's more so because like he grew up at that point, and we don't really know what Korra is like when she grows up, but I'm assuming she's gonna be like pretty much the same as everyone else. But the thing that I understand, like, yeah, I do agree with what you said too about like how she is as like a person, things like that. But I feel like people should like separate who she is as a person versus who she is as an avatar, because like saying like you're a bad avatar, like what like what does that mean? I like it I know people have their opinions, right? But I think it frustrates me when people just hate on Korra for just one like reason where it's not very like in my opinion like very reasonable. Like saying like, oh, they're she's not as good as like Aang and she's not as that. But that's the thing, like I feel like they're not supposed to be the same. They're supposed to be like two different people who are dealing with two different or dealing with different problems growing up. You know, like if Korra was an exact carbon copy of Aang, I feel like at that point you should just rewatch Avatar again instead of watching another show that showed the same thing that Aang went through, but just a different character, like a girl version of Aang, basically. But what I'm saying is, I feel like it wasn't meant to be the same. It's supposed to be like a different show, which is why I brought up earlier. I feel like because like if people didn't start watching Avatar and they started watching Korra, they would have been fine. Because like although they're related, I feel like the two shows are very different to the point where they're unique.
I mean, I do think Avatar is better, but
Yeah, and
like
I think Avatar is better because I haven't seen Korra.
But yeah, I think it's just a matter of fact. People saying that Korra's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just different.
I don't think it's bad, and it's I in a way, certain way, like I do agree, like Avatar is better and can be better, but because I grew up with Korra, I have that more connection with Korra. But that I'm not gonna be like, oh, Korra is so much better and Avatar is bad. It's like
yeah. And speaking of bad, the amount of time you spent on this topic. So let's move on.
I mean, at this point, we can just have this whole first episode about Avatar.
No, that's not reasonable. I'm sorry for anyone who feels that we should have talked about that for not as long. That is,
I gotta say,
at least 40 minutes of Avatar.
Yeah, it's been almost 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I just realized something. So some people, their problems with Korra, like a small problem is like, oh, it'll be quick. She gets the Avatar stuff handed to her. It's too easy, and she just masters all 4 elements easy, right? Same complaint to people who talk about Boruto compared to Naruto. I haven't watched either, but people be saying that
funny,
Boruto learns very difficult techniques extremely easy.
Oh, his dad is Naruto.
All right, that's it. I don't know enough about Naruto.
Actually, I don't know if his dad is Naruto. I'm right? Am I right?
Do we want to like stay? Yeah. Do you want to get off of the Avatar?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Topic altogether, because there's another one. It's not concerning Korra. It's concerning the new live action remake of the show on Netflix. Do we want to talk about that, or we want to leave it to like next episode?
But then we're just gonna do all.
I mean, this episode is basically just Avatar, the episode.
Oh,
yeah. Starting off.
This is not supposed to go like this.
Starting off on the right
foot. Okay.
Live action,
and we can also
and the game,
to other live action remakes too.
For
that.
But okay, so
I'm
gonna just start off because I haven't got to talk that much because I don't have super strong opinions about that. But the last Airbender movie, not the movie, live action remake, whatever. Yeah. My opinions on it is that I'm quite worried because for those of you who don't know, the original producers and directors of Avatar were working on the project previous to like a month ago. And basically, I think so. Am I right? Right? Yeah, okay. And then, so now because of artistic differences, they have left because Netflix apparently from their statement did not give them the freedom they wanted to work on the show. Like they didn't have the full freedom that they needed. So now I'm worried about it. Like I don't know if it's going to be canon, and it's like that bothers me. And it's just the fact that they had such big like differences, like such large differences that the like directors and producers who were excited and super like hyped to work on it had to leave or like felt like they were forced to leave almost. That scares me. What about you guys?
This this news of the original directors and producers leaving this work actually it leads into a whole entire conversation about how live action remakes in general are like never good. Like like just Netflix and like let's start with Netflix. They have pretty much not like made a good live action remake of any animated story.
People
or such.
like The Witcher series.
Oh, The Witcher. Yeah, people did like The Witcher. I've heard
That
The
was a
Witcher is
game
good.
though, but
Yeah,
still.
but then you have like, but let's just say, there's a whole lot of anime that have been tried to be reproduced in live action and
Full
have not
Metal
been good.
Alchemist.
Mhm.
Say Death
I don't.
Note, Full Metal Alchemist, Mob Psycho 100, all really good shows, completely massacred by live action.
Yeah.
And then outside of Netflix, we move to Disney and we
Oh,
see The Lion King, which I
Wasn't
have
that
pretty
bad.
good.
heard
I don't think it was that
only not good things about how it is not good.
bad.
what?
Okay. You know
I was
what?
fine with it.
Wait, I just want to
I've
brought.
just heard that when they transition to live action, the characters they don't have any expression. They are animals talking and singing
Yeah.
without as much expression as 2D animation.
Yeah, I think animation is more fun because
Mhm.
it gets you into that state of like, yeah, we have like freedom to do whatever you want. Live action is taking that freedom and it's giving it very heavy constraints on it because of
It's
just
giving it realism when
yeah,
animation, like
which is a
as a medium,
constraint.
like like the thing we are adapting, animation has so much creative freedom.
Yeah,
There's so much you can do. And then by putting it in live action, they just restrict it by so much.
Hmm. And I think the upside of doing live action was that you can hire like, like famous like actors and singers, and make it in a way like,
That's
to make it the movie a bit
I
more like.
mean, do they not? Is it? It's not
No,
like
they
they
did.
didn't do that for the animated
usually I want to say
versions.
usually they basically make these big names the only
Yeah.
appeal, only draw of these live action movies.
Right.
Hmm.
You have let's say Disney, Beauty and the Beast 20, what was it, 2017?
Mhm.
The movie
Emma, what's her name?
Watson.
Emma
Emma Watson,
Watson. Yep. That was a big name. I think there were like who was Gaston?
Gaston.
Was that a big name?
That's Evans. Something Evans.
Chris Evans. Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then with the new Lion King, you have like a lot of big names there. You have
Oh,
from off the
wait,
top of my head, you had Donald Glover, uh
Beyonce.
Beyonce, yeah.
Um, I think like Idris Elba.
Hmm.
Yeah, but like
Probably.
it's just the big draws, the
Like
names.
if you analyze the trailers, it's funny because like the first trailer always ends off with like the like I think the Lion King was like this like they're playing the soundtrack. It's like dun 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 dun, dun something like
Mhm,
that. And then it's like
mhm.
while it's doing that, it's like bum 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 bum
Yeah, yeah, the
name
names, yeah.
like the people that are going to be in this movie to drive it. It's like
That's
yeah,
basically
I
what
think same thing happened with Aladdin too.
oh yeah, Aladdin. That was another, yeah, live
I heard
It's a
action.
people.
whole nother
I
story.
heard good reviews about Aladdin though, because the
Aladdin
people.
is good.
I
The
have
story
heard some
difference is
good things
good.
about it. I
I like
have
the
heard some
story
good things
difference.
about it, but also there's still just like less magic when you convert
Hmm.
to live action, and the
Yeah.
realism again just restricts it by so much.
Hmm. Certain parts of it I thought were
Dumbo
pretty
Dumbo
okay.
was another one that was turned into live
Never
action
watched
too.
that.
No, I haven't either.
I
Oh,
haven't watched the
Jun-
Uh,
first one, and I didn't watch the second one.
Jungle
I
Book.
watched
I
I
rewatched
Jungle
watched
Book I
Jungle
did
Dumb
Book.
watch.
Jungle Book too.
It was really. I think, in my opinion, Jungle Book did a really good job.
Yeah,
And
okay. I
I
think
don't.
Jungle Book
Which
actually was
one?
really
Which one?
funny.
The
Uh,
Netflix one or the
the,
other
the,
one, the
the
movie
other
one?
one, the movie. The movie is a lot better than the Netflix one. The Netflix one, I don't
Netflix
know.
one isn't even Disney.
No, no, but the Jungle Book movie,
Exactly.
the 2016 one. Oh wait,
The
no,
one by
that's yeah,
Disney.
yep, the one by Disney.
That was
Like,
actually I like that a lot.
yeah.
I think Baloo was actually portrayed
Mm-hmm.
maybe not as much like again like it's yeah maybe it's not as much like emotion stuff but like
You can
his
see the
voice
character.
and like the way he just
Mm-hmm.
acted like he really got into the character like the voice
Yeah,
actor did but
it, it
that was
has
enjoyable.
94% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I enjoyed the
So,
movie.
I actually saw a Twitter post the other day, and it brought up a very interesting idea. It was basically, it was on the topic of how like a lot of times live action remakes ruin the original source material. So they were saying, hey, animation is such a great medium and a great way of storytelling. It's very beautiful. It gives you so much creative freedom. Why don't we start adapting famous films into animation instead of the other way around?
mm-hmm.
And I think that that's something that is worth looking into, but also like Hollywood doesn't really respect animation unless it comes
Right.
from Pixar or
Yeah.
Disney. But like, have you watched Interstellar?
I haven't, but I
I
want
have
to.
not either, so I guess we can't talk about it because
I know, but I know that Hans Zimmer is the composer for that
yeah,
movie, and I think that's
I do
one of the.
like Hans.
Yeah, I do too.
Me too.
so this
Wow.
next part coming from a person who has not watched Interstellar. I hope I do not offend people who have watched Interstellar, but I've heard that it is a very beautiful movie
Mhm.
with the like the expansiveness of space, and also it has it's just nice and cool, right?
Mhm. I
How
remember.
would you feel a animated version of that?
Oh, see,
I
I
don't I
feel
don't
like.
I don't actually I don't know I don't want to like say anything too bold because I actually haven't watched the movie, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about this topic at all. But like a movie like I don't know if either of you have. I know
Okay.
Grant hasn't. I don't know about you, Butter, but a movie
Here's the
like Your
thing.
Name, an anime, has
Um,
really amazing and beautiful scenes of just like stars and space and just like cities and stuff. And I just thinking, what if
Interstellar.
Interstellar was made into an animated
Mhm.
movie with like beautiful
Oh,
space scenes like that and
Here's the
such and
thing.
such.
speaking of turning live action movies into anime, you guys seen that Star Wars anime opening video?
I have.
No.
That I
It's
like that.
cool.
That looks so sick.
The opening is actually the opening from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood that they use in
Oh,
that. Yeah.
I like it then. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. But yeah, like I think like there are certain movies like honestly Star Wars and anime look kind of cool.
Star Wars, yeah,
It's
like Clone
pretty cool.
Wars. They made the prequels like really good with the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah.
They took the world built in the prequels, and with Clone Wars they expand on. I mean, it's also it was a show, so they had more room to expand things and
Mm-hmm.
such. But
The
like
universe has
they,
expanded so much through that
yeah,
show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that question actually, but I think I'm just gonna like go real quick. But I feel like for a movie like Interstellar, where like a it's like a live action movie, right? For a movie like that to have already received so much like praise and like compliments, I guess I don't think like it'd be necessary to turn it into like an animated like shit like thing or series because like for me at least when I watch like an animated show the only like I'm curious I'm like when I watch it I'm more curious about like oh I wonder what it's gonna look like with like real life like effects and things like that which is also why I'm excited for the live action remake of Avatar but also not because of what
mhm.
Grant brought up
Mm-hmm.
but I think
To,
like
to interrupt right there, I feel like that's like the only draw of live action remakes. I want to see what it looks like in live action. I don't really care about anything
yeah
else. Just I want to see. I'm kind of curious, but like
right
it
right
doesn't look as good ever because animation is so creative with everything, and there's no
mm-hmm.
restrictions
It's
in
just
live
more
action.
visual
It's
eye
restricted
candy
by the
because
technology.
That's
because
true
I was actually talking about this with Shy like sometime in the past I think maybe um but basically like I explained it this way where it's like watching a movie that's live action you're seeing a lot of things you've already seen before
mm-hmm.
just as in like the real world
right
Hmm.
animation being fresh new like all from the start from the ground up like
mm-hmm.
they build like the style of animation is never exactly the same and you're seeing something that's like been designed from the ground up like the world hasn't been designed from the ground up every time a new live action movie is released
right
but like when animation stuff comes up like it's just visual eye candy because it's like oh my gosh that's different
And
that's new
different art
that's
styles too.
yeah
mm-hmm.
it's just all it can be so much more visually intriguing.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm. Do you want to continue, Butter, or?
Oh, well, I was gonna say, like, I definitely agree, but like I said before, like I feel like for like a, already like a visually stunning movie like Interstellar, I feel like
Mhm.
people have already like had their expectations like, wow, like I can't believe this is like a movie. I really feel like to turn it into like an animated series where a lot of more possibilities can happen. It will still look nice, right? But people, I feel like it won't appeal as much to people because they'll be like, well, I've already seen what the potential it has for being like a live action movie. So like, is it really necessary for me to see how it would
I've
look
already seen the
animated?
potential of Avatar in animation. Why do I want to watch something that's going to be worse?
Well, because you can, I think it's kind of like a curiosity among people to like see what just feel like they want to see what it looks like in like real life, like
No, but he does have a point. Like I don't feel the urge to like honestly. I would say there's probably more things I would have the urge to see in an animation style than I
mhm,
have to see in live action style.
Uh, one thing I'm looking at the tweet right now. A really good example that they brought up was how Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man before then, like the mainstream media was basically all like live action movies, the
mhm.
Tobey Maguire stuff,
Yeah,
the what's his name? Andrew
Andrew Garfield,
Garfield.
yeah,
Yeah, and then the
Tom Holland.
one at that point Tom Holland, yeah. But then you get Spider-Verse, which has such great animation, really good art style, and it's been like the best Spider-Man media. Actually, I can't say about like comics or whatever, but like in recent times, it's been like the best Spider-Man media in storytelling and in looks in just like everything. And
Hmm.
that was an animated version of what most people had seen as like live action, like the
yeah.
general
Yeah.
public.
No,
Like Sony's Spider-Man never took off until they did animated, like until they did it animated. Like it's just it gave him a way to again like show something that's new and different. Like the animation style was so new and different that like
Hmm.
even just purely for like watching it and just like looking at it, like it just adds a whole new level of like basically like something they can say like yeah, this is what's good about the movie. Like just looking at every single scene in the movie, you're like, oh my gosh, that's like interesting.
hmm.
Like just the
Hmm.
different aspects of it and everything. It's just so it's just better. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I guess, yeah, no, I thought we were strictly talking about just Interstellar in general because I don't know what they can do with animating, but like yeah, I do agree with the point like bringing all the like the different Spider-Mans into like an animated like movie and just exploring the possibilities of that. No, I yeah, no, I think that's a good point because I haven't seen Spider Into the Spider-Verse yet and I really want to because
What?
I have it on my list.
Oh, that's a
I
problem.
I
Into
have it
the
on my list.
Spider-Verse is an actual masterpiece.
I'll start watching it.
Yep. Better.
Oh, also, you guys know the movie Cats? I don't know if you heard about it, but
Oh,
uh,
I
I don't
want
know
to
if you
forget
heard of
about
the
it.
production process though. It's been like what, 15 years in the making or something.
Shall
Was
we
that actually?
It was
Oh my
planned as an
gosh.
animated movie.
Was
It
shall
it?
we
was
Oh,
planned
that
as
would
an
have been so
animated
much better.
movie, and along production somehow came live action, and look what we got.
How did
um
that happen? Like just imagine
I
like
don't
in
know.
the on the boardroom they're like, "Okay, so the animation isn't going well. So let's just make it harder on ourselves to make it
Hmm.
live action."
Oh,
Great
also
idea.
to source the tweet about animated remakes. We're not very big, but I want to source my sources. So
Awesome.
from at Ryan Colt Levy, that is at
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's good.
RyanColtlevy. Yep,
Wait,
it is
what?
good.
Oh, that was it?
on
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
on
just that.
Cool.
on the topic of cats, shall we read just a few like cats reviews because I've read a lot of them and I think they're
They're
hilarious.
pretty actually that's a good idea.
Yeah,
That could
okay.
make some funny stuff.
Also, one more thing about the animated remakes. Another person in the replies to this tweet, uh, they were saying, well, I'm gonna say this word by word and then source them at the end. Uh, an animated Inception remake, but the deeper they go, the more experimental the animation gets. And I think really experimental animation is super cool.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like, do you remember that scene in Inside Out where I don't remember what happens, but they're like going through this area and then
Oh, the
they
memories? Was
is it
it
the
the
memory? I don't know. It's they're with Bing Bong and
yeah,
like they're
Bing
going
Bong.
through this
Yep.
area and the art style keeps on changing until it's
Mhm.
like very simplified, very abstract.
Oh, when they were stuck in the imagination room. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Sure,
about.
yeah, that thing.
Yep. I do
I
remember
think
that.
I like Inception. Uh, uh, cool movie. I watched like some of it because my sister's watching it sometime. But like I think when they like the concept of them going deeper and the animation getting more experimental is super cool. Because seeing animation that's like really like abstract and completely
Mhm.
different from like what is usually seen, like how Spider-Verse is such a unique art style, is really cool.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think that's also a really good idea. And that was from at Queen Era 2. That is QUEENIRA 2.
If you're watching this, hello.
Hi, how's it going? How's your day? Is it fine if I take a leave for a second and then you guys can just
Yeah.
continue for a
Yeah.
bit?
Butter
All
and I
right,
can
I'll be
hold
right
the
back.
conversation.
No, yeah. No, that's true. Honestly, I yeah, no, I do agree. Like exploring the like the more so like animation, like possibilities. But this is my opinion, like entirely, right? I feel like
Hmm.
for me, I'm more prone to be impressed by stunning and beautiful like visuals, like in real life or like using live action. Just to name one, Doctor Strange, one of the best like movies I've
Doctor
ever
Strange
seen.
is really cool, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like insane, like the visuals and the graphics. And just to like to say like we can you definitely can do a lot more with it when you turn it into like an animated series. But at
Hmm.
that point, I'm not gonna be as impressed because I'm like, oh well, it's sure it looks pretty, but also like I know what it looks like in real
Butter,
life.
we have to watch Your Name at some point. You don't know the peak of animation.
Which one?
Your Name,
Oh, you're.
it's so well animated.
Mm.
There's so many shows that
When I think of
it's
one, I
very
think of
good.
Spirited Away. I think that was also one of the.
Dude, I need to watch more Ghibli movies.
Yeah,
I've watched one and a half and a half.
that's a movie.
No, I what I'm saying is I've watched one movie and there's two others that I have not been able to finish
Actually,
because both of them I started at a friend's house and then we had to leave.
wait,
So
have you?
I've watched the entirety of Castle in the Sky. I like Castle in the
Oh,
Sky.
that's the one I was thinking of. Oh my gosh.
I like Castle in the Sky. I like the Laputa. Is that the song? Yeah, Laputa is a good song. I watched most of Totoro. I think I didn't finish like the last like 10 minutes or something, which is
Hmm.
real unfortunate. Totoro is cool, but I didn't understand as much since I was pretty young.
Yeah.
And the last one was Ponyo, which
Ponyo, I've also heard of that.
I don't remember like anything about it. But I really want to watch like Spirited Away, Grave of the
have
Fireflies,
Have you seen
Howl's Moving
Howl's Moving
Castle.
Castle? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I want to watch Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah,
Those are the classics.
dude, I love animation so much.
Yeah.
It's so much you can do with it. It's great.
Hmm. And yeah, I haven't seen a lot of them. I've seen like pretty much Spirited Away, House Moving Castle, and The Cat Returns is the three that I've watched. I've
The Cat
unfortunately
Returns.
not watched
I don't know if I've
Totoro.
heard about that one.
I don't
Is
remember much.
it, I might know like the Japanese name, but I don't know like the I don't know if I've heard about that one.
I think it was just basically like there's like a towel or a tower in the middle of like a city, and all the cats just like live in there, and this girl like I don't know defeats the big evil cat by teaming up with other cats. That's as much as I
Is
can.
she a human?
Yeah.
Is that animal abuse? There's actually a new movie that came out like just this year called A Whisker Away, and kind of sounds similar to that.
Oh.
This girl, I don't really know the whole synopsis of it, but it was like this girl, somehow like someday she like wakes up as a cat and she tries to get closer to this boy, and that was
Mm.
like the initial trailer. And then I learned when it was on Netflix, they had a Netflix trailer, and then I learned that then like some point in the movie she joins this colony of cats and something goes on. I was like, what? That's kind of wacky.
Wait. That. It sounds awfully familiar to.
I don't
I don't
know.
know. It could be a movie that I've seen or anything like that. But okay. One of the I don't know. There was like a period of time I remember that I would watch a lot of the Oscar nominated animated movies,
Mm-hmm.
and two of them being Song of the Sea and Life as a Pickle. So Song of the
Life
Sea.
as a zucchini.
Oh, sorry, Life as a Zucchini.
He is not the funniest thing I've ever seen. He is a zucchini.
Right. I don't know why I said pickle, but yeah, Life as a Zucchini. I really like that one because even though like it's not like visually stunning, I think it's lighthearted and kind of just like huh. But Song of the Sea, one of the best like movies in animated movies I've ever watched. Like everything about it is. Oh, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I have heard good things about Song of the Sea. It is on Netflix. Yeah,
Wait, oh
I
my
haven't
gosh,
watched it yet
I did
though.
not know this. Yeah, but everything about the soundtracks, the graphics, and just the story in general is incredible.
Hey, look at that! Grant's back.
Hey, it took a long time. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we're just talking about like movies that we like.
Yeah,
Nice. I also like movies.
I might
Movies
have.
are
Yeah,
good.
after what you said, I might have to take back my word on saying Interstellar as a live action remake. But or not live action, animated remake. I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of cool because
Mhm.
Your Name has very nice shots of the sky.
Okay, for a quick break, um, one review that I've seen so far about the movie Cats is that Clint Worthington said, "By the time I left the theater, I wasn't even sure what a real cat looked like anymore."
Is that it?
Yep.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, back to session.
Oh.
Uh, hey Grant, this is a thing you might want to talk about.
Mhm.
The One Piece live action remake that Netflix is going to be producing.
I do talk about a little bit, but there's also something else I want to talk about. But we'll get to that maybe after, maybe not. I don't know. I kind of want to eat food. But
This should be a short conversation.
yeah, let's see.
I had a good amount of hope with this, and then
The
Avatar
Avatar
producers left,
thing.
and I was like, oh, I kind
Yeah.
of have less hope. The one thing that's keeping me, or that's maybe two things. Ichiro Oda, official or original the mangaka, which is the author of the manga.
Hmm.
Um, that's some weeb words for you Japanese.
Awesome.
He's like right he's an executive producer of the series.
Yeah.
So as long as he doesn't like say in the next week I'm leaving the production, I still have some faith in the show. Also, I've heard from a friend. I haven't actually checked my sources on this yet, but I've heard that it's going to have the same budget as Game of Thrones, which is which is wacky. That's like a lot of money going into. Also,
That
that's my
is a lot of
sister.
money.
Don't
Like
don't
that'd
don't
be
get me
really
wrong.
awesome. But like the thing is just again like with the if making things live action, like, it just limits the world, and like the world of One Piece is just so it's just done so like correctly and right in
It's
like in
it's
my
it's
animated.
such an expertly written world. Like
Just
right
yeah,
now, Butter
I
can't
don't
really talk
know.
about because he hasn't watched
Yeah, but
One
like
Piece.
it's just I don't know. But
No, I agree.
yeah, I think it could be good, it could be bad. I don't know yet.
I've been
But
saying this to you, but Luffy stretching his arm, that's gonna be so weird in live action. I don't.
yeah,
Oh, that.
Also, One Piece, its sound effects, they're very cartoonish, which like I don't know if it was a reason because of budget early on, but like they've kept the cartoonish sound effects, which are a part of the show at this point. I like them. I don't know how that's gonna transition into live action. It's gonna be weird when when Nami punches Luffy and it's not like a funny bonk, it's like an actual punch.
yeah. It seems so interesting. I don't know, but
I hope it's good. If Ichiro Oda, masterpiece writer, is on board and in the production. I have hope it will be at least somewhat decent.
Yeah. So here's a topic I wanted to bring up real quick is um the have you guys heard of the Avatar Dreams game for PS4?
Oh yes.
Yeah. By
The
Elka
pretty
Gaming.
yeah, the guy I've seen YouTube videos of him making, and it's wow.
It's pretty cool. Like it's interesting to see how far you can get with that platform.
Right.
Because like that's insane the thing he's
Have
done
have
with that.
people finally started like doing really cool things in Dreams?
Yeah, only so many people though, but like it's the thing I when it first came out, I was like, man, what I like my ideal like path for this to go on is he's like keeps working on this dreams game, either makes it or like during making it, like Nickelodeon or someone like is like, all right, this is actually like a great idea. Let's like get him on this project and help him out. Let's make this like official thing. Like that would be so cool. Because I think
Really?
they could make like the way that he's doing it so far. Like he's making this game is like really impressive and it looks fun. Like
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of
it's
like what they did with Sonic Mania. You know, the lead producers of that game, they made like I think it was like fan games or like mods of like the original Sonic 2D
oh
Sonic
yeah yeah
games. And
I've
then
seen
the
like
Sonic team were like, "Hey, you want to like make an official Sonic game?" And they did, and then they made Sonic Mania, which people say is like the greatest Sonic game since like what, Generations or Colors,
mhm,
right?
which is awesome.
Which is cool.
I think generations after colors. I can't remember. Whatever. That's a
I don't know.
random thing.
I don't know
I think
much
it's
about
after.
Sonic stuff.
Yeah, neither do I. But I do know those two games specifically because those are the
Also,
only ones I've
saw
heard
it
good.
like just today, but apparently, Mr. Scott Cawthon, guy who makes the FNAF games, apparently he's funding fan games so they can be released multi-platform, which is kind of cool.
That is wow. That would
Like
be really
official
nice.
developers sort of supporting fan games, which kind of aligns with you hoping Nickelodeon
Hmm.
execs like pick up the Dreams game, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it used to be a good way to. First of all, I think it's good for the business because like or it's good for both. I think both sides can benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the developer gets to make an actual job out of it instead of just making it like for free because he's not getting paid. This is all
Mm-hmm.
his side project, and then you know Nickelodeon can have like publicity on it, or like I don't not publicity. Yeah, I guess publicity kind of works, but like they can have more. Um, yeah, just kind of gain internet points if you know what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of lost track of what I was thinking of, but yeah,
I kind of wish more like
it's just
big country or not countries, big companies like bring on uh like fans of the game who are actually or are proven to have like skill or like expertise in like
mm,
in this case game design to like actually be brought onto their team because as seen with the Sonic Mania stuff, it's like it worked like
yeah.
by directly taking someone from their audience and to create game it worked well, but you don't see that enough,
Hmm.
which
I
is
think
why
I
I
think
like
one
indie
thing
games a
is
lot.
yeah, like I was gonna say, like indie games are really cool because like you can see the popularity that like the passion that's behind them, and it'd be cool if more big developers took some of those indie game like or like I guess not like the best way to say it would just be like Elka Gaming is making this Avatar game, right? He
Mhm.
they just like allow him to have more freedom with it because like
Hmm.
yeah, just allow like but not give any or don't take a that I can't speak. I'm too tired. Don't take away any like control or like just give him more freedom, not less.
Hmm.
And don't restrict it just because you want to have like ownership of the property. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that'd be
that
really
is a
nice.
problem with
Hmm.
that's kind of a problem with companies taking like indie developers under the wing.
Yeah, that's the thing
I
is
don't
that if
think
you
it
did less of
happens
that,
too often, but sometimes you get like an indie game that has like so much potential. I act I thought I had a series on like the tip of my tongue I could name off, but like sometimes you like get an indie developer make a cool game, and then they're like taken under the wing of like a AAA company, but and then they get less creative freedom and what they want to do.
yeah,
Yeah. Speaking of indie games, this is not like a really big indie game, but I like okay, the only games I ever like really play is on my computer or my phone, but on Apple Arcade, there's a game called Neo Cab, and I think it's probably like the game of its generation or like one of the first. It's basically it's like I think it's really cool because it takes place in like 20 years from now or like 40 years from now where
Oh,
basically like
I think I've heard about this game.
yeah, basically like a corporation that basically takes advantage of people, takes over the world and everything and just neocab.
dystopian.
Kind of, yeah.
No,
And
yeah.
it's dystopian only if you choose it to be, like because like if you move to like the city, you're definitely gonna see it. But if you don't live in the city, then you probably won't encounter it. But basically, you play as the main character who's a cab driver, and there's like 6 days that you're gonna be spending at the city, and every day you get to choose who you pick up and the conversations that you have with them, and it's really like interesting because like there's like really certain aspects of like being a cab driver because like they'll give you options to be like, hey, make sure that your customers are having a good conversation with you, so they give you good tips and good star ratings, or else they will
And
like
my
trying to like yeah
Well, the
my
vibe's still
they'll
laptop
going.
just
I mean, the
froze.
live
Oh,
recording.
all right, it's back. It's
Okay,
back.
cool.
We're good.
yeah, and just like the game, it feels so refreshing to play because it's not like anything I've ever played before, and for it to be like featured, on like Apple. Like I've never heard of the company before, and I'm pretty sure it's just like a small team of people that worked on the game because like for the credits, it's not a lot. It's just the same people over and over again. But it's just like playing a game like that, like really gave me like some kind of just like escape, because it's like wow, like you play as this like cab driver that basically can change the whole world based on what you do and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think like in my opinion, like indie games are really cool if you find the right one, right? But because
Mhm.
like there's so many, but yeah, kind of like what you said.
I
It's
think
just
I might have a game that you might like. My friends told me about this one.
which
I haven't
one?
tried it out myself yet. I've heard good things about it. It's called Valhalla, except it's like spelled VA-11 space Hall dash A. But basically, you're a bartender at a bar, and the whole game is basically just like you interact with characters and you just hear about their lives, and you might
Oh,
like that. It's is that somewhat similar to
yeah,
how NeoCab
Neocab.
is?
Yep, pretty
Yeah,
much.
Coffee
I
Uh,
like
Talk
that.
is also kind of similar to that too.
Coffee
Coffee
Talk.
talk.
Haven't
Yep.
heard of that one.
You're also
Let me see.
the bartender.
Oh,
It's got like a 9 out of 10 on Steam. I've actually
yeah.
heard of it a few
I
times.
I, I
Valhalla
saw
got a
Valhalla
10 out
has
of
10
10
out
on
of 10.
Steam.
Yep, that's
What?
insane.
Valhalla has a
Valhalla.
10 out of 10 on Steam.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay.
crazy.
Well, I know which game I'm gonna be playing.
Yeah. Um. Anybody else have like one more thing to talk about? I think we should be ending off just soon-ish.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
Any last topics?
I mean, I don't have a topic, but I also have another indie game. Okay, basically, it's called Mutazione, and the gist of the game is that you, you like go to this island that your grandpa lives in, and he's dying, and you try to like discover the secret of the island by going around talking to the people and stuff. And at the end, and the really cool thing about it is like while you're doing that, you can also collect seeds of different plants, on the island, and then you can make your own garden, and the plants correspond to like a certain song or music. So like it's like either like melancholic or happy or joyous or sad. The songs will change according to what plants you put in, and I think that's a really cool like, interaction with the game.
Hmm.
So yeah, I really like it when you. It's especially like with open world games. You know, I feel like freedom is a lot more like accessible, and just like I know like the only thing I can think of when I think of an open world game is GTA 5. But I feel like even then there's like a lot more that you can do, or you should be able to do with a game like that. But
Mm-hmm.
Wait, GTA 5 is the first open world game that comes to your mind?
I mean, he's kind of limited in his game options.
yeah,
First
Compared
one
to
comes to my
us.
mind is like Breath
Legend
of
of
the
Zelda.
Wild and
Yeah,
Skyrim, but yeah.
I figured you were gonna say that, and I really want to try Breath of the Wild, but
It's good, but I
Alright,
think
Grant,
that's
you
yeah.
got stuff you want to talk about
No, I'm really
before?
I'm super tired.
All right. Any closing statements, anybody? I think
um,
it's about time to wrap up.
thank you for listening to
Yeah.
podcast.
Thank you for the people who tuned into Grant's stream, and thank you to anyone who is watching this podcast on like YouTube or like Spotify if you're gonna upload it there, Butter.
Yep.
We should
Yeah,
get
so
we
thank
should
you
get
for
it
watching.
most places. I don't know, or as far as we can. You know, we'll try our hardest to get it as accessible as possible.
Yeah. I just need
Is the way to put it.
the link RSS link to put it in, but we can figure that out.
Yeah,
Hope you
we'll figure it out
enjoyed
for
our
next time.
first episode. Like
Yeah, thank
40
you.
minutes of it was about Avatar
And
and Korra, but
we'll try to work on balancing like topics and like
yeah,
transitions and other things. We're still figuring out stuff. Like we literally just decided this yesterday, so now we'll have like at least a week to, you know, figure out some different things.
I also I think I did like talking about Avatar and Korra a lot, but like the latter half when we were bouncing between different topics was also nice too.
Yeah.
So for those who have gone to the end, if you like to like comment or like
Like and
tell us
subscribe.
if you got any topics you want us to talk about in the next podcast episode.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Actually.
Yeah.
We love anything gaming, movies, television. Like we love content from places, YouTube videos. I don't know, funny, interesting YouTube videos. Yeah, just yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah,
thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
hope
So
come back
yeah,
next time.
thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
All
Bye
right.
bye.